Welcome everybody to 13.2 Grammar Challenge, where we talk about the grammar notes from Lesson 13, Dialogue 1. Let's take a look and see what kind of grammar we want to talk about this time. Okay, it's all about directions and locations and getting places. And so we start off with these couple of options here that almost function like a suffix. They're not really, I suppose, in terms of grammatical rules, but it kind of feels like that. This bian, mian, tou, and even jian in some cases, although this jian here doesn't really come into play very often. Really the only case is kind of the exception to the rule. We'll see jian in zhongjian for the middle of something. So if something was in the middle, you would use zhongjian instead of zhong and anything else. Zhong doesn't go with these other options here. It only comes with the jian. But everything else, like above and below, 上下, we have in front of, behind, all of those, north, south, east, west, those kinds of things, those words will match with these other options. And the book kind of lays it out which ones of these pair with which words. So take a look at the book to see how that's all laid out. And then you'll be able to say things like 图书馆在书店的旁边 or you might say 我的书在桌子上 and that would be the same as saying 桌子上边 or 上面 or 上头 would be fine as well. Okay, now we have another comparison, and we've talked about B before. We had this B in the last lessons for A, B, Y. 我比你高 means I'm taller than you, so that whatever's receiving that adjective comes first in the sentence. And it's the same kind of focus here with these patterns as well. So if I say 我没有他高, it means I'm not taller than him. I'm not as tall as him. Whereas with 不比 is a little different, meaning 我不比他高 would be that I'm not necessarily any taller than he is. And so there's a little bit of a nuance here, whereas this isn't really definitively saying who is actually taller. With 没有, we are actually qualifying who is the taller, or the smarter, or the faster, or the 帅, the more 帅, can be accomplished with 没有. Along with the 没有, you can also include 那么, 我没有他那么帅. So I'm not nearly as handsome as he is. So it's indicating a degree. It's specifying to what degree, and it's some kind of degree more than. And then we also see this 那么, even without the comparison part. You can say something like, 哦，你那么喜欢加州，你为什么不搬到加州去? So if you like California that much, why don't you go live there? So 那么喜欢, that phrase is kind of really useful and really popular. And you could pair that with like a conditional. 如果你那么喜欢喝可口可乐，那你 and so on and so forth. And then we come to a place. So if we want to talk in this lesson about getting places, so it would help if we had this pattern to say what we do once we go to that place. So that's what this is all about. 到一个地方去做什么？你到学校去读书，你到你朋友的家去吃饭。So it's whatever, it's 到, and then that location, whatever you're going, 去, and then whatever you're doing there, the action. So you never put this action part first. You would never say 我吃饭到我朋友家去. So that wouldn't make any sense. So you'd always say 到我朋友家去吃饭. Okay, so this is the grammar challenge for this lesson that I've concocted for you. Basically, I want you to say where you're going to go after class and what you're going to do there. So you're going to use this 到and then a place, 去, action, pattern. And then, with a follow-up sentence, maybe, not in the same sentence, feel free to make more than one sentence, I want you to compare how far the places that you're going to some other place. So maybe the person you're talking to doesn't really quite understand where you're going. Maybe I'll even interject and ask you where that place is. And then you can use the 没有 or you can use 不比 to indicate either how far it is or how not farther away than something else is, or how it's relatively the same amount of distance away that some other place is with 不比. Okay, hope that's clear, and have fun with it. Come up with something, and we'll see you in class.